Hi, I'm Danny with eTrailer, and today we're going to be taking a look at our B&W Turnoverball Underbed Gooseneck trailer hitch on our 2025 Ford F-350. If you're looking to get a gooseneck system for your truck, you can't go wrong with B&W. It's built the best, and it is American made, so you know it's a reputable brand. We found in the shop here that it is the best to install. It's the easiest, and it's just built the best with the clearest of tolerances. You can take this right out and put that back in. So now it's a flush look in your bed. You have full bed access. You can throw, sheets of drywall in here with no problem. And you do have a latch on your driver's side wheel well. You can just pull in and out to lock this in place. What is another nice thing about this is this square receiver here can fit the companion fifth wheel hitch. So if you're ever wanting to do some fifth wheel hitch towing, that's an option you can also look into. Another great thing is that this does have spring-loaded safety chain loops, so when you pull them up, they'll go right back down. And you can easily stick your clevisile in there when you're hooking up your trailer. Here's the handle we were talking about on the driver's side rear wheel well. So it is locked right now, but if you're going to want to change the ball out, you just pull it out and then slide it to the left. And now it's locked in the open position. It's super easy. Anybody can do it just with one hand. As far as the install goes, it is pretty straightforward. You do have to drill a hole in your bed, and there's a lot of hard to get kind of bolts you need to torque down. But if you're cool with that, then follow along and I'll show you how to install it. If not, feel free to check out our dealer locator and we can find a professional to do it for you. But with that being said, let's get into the install. All right, so first off, we went ahead and lowered our spare tire. And next, we're going to locate where we're going to drill our hole. So in this bed, we do have a dimple of where we can drill it. But if you have a spray-in bed liner, you may not have that dimple. So do measure from the back of your bed to the specs of the instructions, and then get halfway between the wheel wells. So I'm going to first start the hole and then go in with my hole saw just to make sure everything is straight. And once you got your hole cut, go ahead and vacuum up the shavings, and I'm going to get a paint marker and go around here and then spray it with some clear coat to prevent rust. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the heat shield off. That's for our spare tire. And I'm just going to use a 14mm socket. Now we're going to locate these two wires and unplug them. We are going to relocate them just because they're going to be in the way right now of our gooseneck. I'm just going to pull up on that anchoring device. See if I can get these flipped around. And I'm just going to set these aside for now, just out of the way. So now you're going to want to go ahead and install your brackets. You'll know which one is which because the driver's side will have a sticker saying that that's the side that will have the latch. But you're going to have two brackets, and it'll sandwich the frame like that with a bolt going all the way through. Some of these vehicles will have this bracket pre-welded on there. Ours does today, so we won't be using this. But if yours does not, then you will want to use both of these brackets. So I went ahead and put my bolts through with the washer on, and now I'm going to feed those through the holes in the frame. And on the back side, you're going to want to put another washer, then your locking washer, and followed by a nut. And once I get both of these hand tight, do make sure to do that on the other side as well. Go ahead and get our threaded bushings in place. A good way to determine which side to do it is it's going to be this protrusion. That's going to be facing up towards the vehicle. It's going to have a flat side, and you're going to want to put that in there. And then I'm just going to hammer it in to get it in there. And you want to make sure there's no gapping on the back of that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that to the other 3. Slide these up into place. You want to make sure the back holes line with the bracket we installed on the outside, and then the thread bolt we just put in is going to align with this oblong hole here. Then you're going to get your nut with the thread locker on it, and just get that hand tight. Just a couple of threads is all you need right now. Now I'm going to go ahead and just scoot these aside so I can get to this square hole here, and I'm going to go ahead and put my carriage bolts through all these. Put our cross member brace in. We're just going to go ahead and orientate it like that. Find your holes. So it's a little hard to hold it up there and get one in, but we just got this one started. But you just want to put your washer, your locking washer, and then followed by your nut on there. And then just get all those hand tight. Go ahead and put the handle bracket on. You're going to want to pull this out and twist it towards the front to lock it in place. And then this is going to go right on top of there. You'll notice a swoop in this handle bracket. That's going to be facing up. We're going to get our hardware in place. Tighten it on. And now I'm going to just torque these down to the specs in the instructions. Lift our center section into place. Just want to make sure that hole goes into the hole we drilled up top. So these back 2 bolts facing closest to the truck bed is going to face this way. And now going to the cab side, the one closest to the cab, the bolt head is still going to be facing the cab on the driver's side here. This last bolt, the head will be facing the tailgate. It's the only one that's different. May need to push it on the spring just to get that in there. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and get these smaller bolts in the bottom hole here. So on the side that's facing the tailgate, the head will be facing the cab. And then on the cab side, the head will be facing the tailgate. Put the hardware on the back of these bolts. We're going to get a washer, a locking washer, and then a nut on the back of this. And that goes for the same with the bottom hardware as well. Washer, locking washer, nut. And I'm going to go ahead and put these on the rest. This is the driver's side. We did install the bolts already. You're going to want the bolts head down on all these 3. But this one is going to be the head facing up towards the sky, and then the bolt's going to be on there. And on the top, there's a washer with another washer on the bottom, lock washer, and a nut. We went ahead and we put this device on our gooseneck that's going to lift it all the way flat against the bed without deforming the bed. If you don't have one of these contraptions at home, you could use jack stands maybe with like a strap. Make sure that this is centered in the hole you drilled, as well as this square is square to the truck bed. That'll be important for certain things that you'll be putting in there. So now we can go ahead and tighten and torque all these down. There is a sequence that are in the instructions to tighten these in. So first you're going to want to tighten these 4. And then second, you're going to want to tighten these that go up into this bracket. And then third is going to be these black flange nuts. Fourth is going to be the nuts on the outside of our bracket, on the outside of the frame here. And fifth is going to be these guys, all four of these. And finally, the last ones are going to be these. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down with a 15/16 socket. And now I'm going to hit these four with a 3/4 inch socket. Tighten these black bolts down with a 3/4 inch as well. For these outer bolts, these are also going to be 3/4. Ones in the side here are 15/16. And lastly, I'm going to get these four with a 3/4 socket. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through and torque all these down in the same order we tightened them up. If you don't have a torque wrench at home, we do offer them here at eTrailer, or you can usually purchase one or rent one at an auto parts store. But yeah, do keep in mind the different torque settings on your instructions and make sure you're following what they're needing to be torqued down to. Some of these bolts might be kind of a pain to get to. You might need kind of specialized fittings in order to get your torque wrench in there, but do the best you can and get those fittings if needed. Okay. Now you want to go ahead and slide your handle between the frame here. Went ahead and put our bolts in and tightened and torqued these down for the handle. And then now you can go ahead and plug your wires back in if you needed to unplug those to get them out of your way. And I just mounted them back underneath the same plate they were mounted to. We can go ahead, drill for our safety chain loops. And I'm using a 15/16 drill bit. I just got that bigger bit to get through this bed stiffener. And now once I got through that, I can see my center hole. And I'm going to go ahead and drill all the way through with a small bit and then finish it up top. Use a step bit to widen these holes out just so our U-bolts can fit nicely in there. Once you got all these drilled, I'm going to go ahead and take a file and just get all those burrs off the edges here. Just make it nice and clean. I'm going to go ahead and do the same trick with this marker here. Get them all nice and coated, and once it dries, I'm going to hit it with some clear coat to seal it all in, prevent rust. Now, once everything's dry, I'm going to go ahead and put our safety chain loops in, and we're going to go up underneath and put our hardware on. Put your spring on there, small side facing down, and then get your nut on there. And we're just going to tighten these just till they're flush with the end of the bolt. So now with these tightened, these are secured in place. You can go ahead and grease your ball here. Mostly get it on the corners where it's going to be making contact. And slide that in. And now you're ready to go ahead and put your heat shield back up and your spare tire, and you're good to go. And that just about does it for our installation of the B&W Gooseneck trailer hitch. Please let us know in a review or comment what you're using yours for. I'm Daniel with eTrailer. Thanks for watching.